Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, Great Mother. Thank you, my brothers and sisters. Thank you, Grandmother Trees. I'm surrounded by the Grandmother Trees. I'm at the river. Aho. Aho. I'm amongst the stone people, the grandmothers and the grandfathers. Aho. Thank you. Thank you, Grandmother Trees. Thank you, Grandfather Sun. Thank you, Father Sky. Aho. Thank you to all the creatures of the land and all the birds of the air and the fish of the sea, the turtles, the pollywogs, the frogs. Aho. All my brothers and sisters, all my relations, the coyotes, the bear, the deer, great eagle, the hawk. Aho. The fox, the coyote. Aho. Aho. Aho shinawan aho. Aho shinawan. Hey. Thank you everybody for coming. I am in the Sycamore Canyon today. Today everybody is being distracted once again by their televisions and by, by those things that they don't really believe in, but they'll do it because that's where everybody else is and that's what other people are doing. Not me. I don't believe in that stuff. And, what is it that I want to give myself? What is it that I want to do? Not just for myself, but what is it that I want to do for you? Because when I come out here, I don't just offer prayers and blessings for myself. I offer blessings for the land. I offer blessings for the trees, for all my brothers and sisters, the animals. You heard me mention all those things. For the stars, the sun, the universe, Great Mother Earth, Aho, all her creatures. That includes you. That includes me. I include you and I. We are all inclusive. Aho, aho mitaku yasin. So there's something that came up the other day, and it seems to come up a lot, especially with people who are wanting to do the things similar to what I do, and they don't step into their power because they don't know how. They spend their time listening for what they should do, and sometimes the what you should do comes as a knowing. Like somebody said to me the other day, I'm waiting for my guides to tell me what to put in my medicine bag. Well, a medicine bag is a pretty basic thing. You put tobacco, you put some cedar, you put sage, maybe some lavender, maybe some rosemary, maybe some bay leaves, maybe some different kinds of things from the land that are around you, some wild sage and things like that, some medicines from the land that can help you later, or you can use as offerings to the land when you're going to go out and you're going to hike, or you're going to sit on the land, or swim, or do something of that nature, or you're going to do that on the land, and you're going to ask for permission. You offer tobacco. You offer these things in a good way. You don't wait. You don't wait for them to come to you. You know where they are. Oh, you know how to find them. They're all around us. I know that where I am, I can find some wild lavender. I can find rosemary. I can find some wild sage. If I take my time and walk around here, I can find the medicines. I can't see them where I'm sitting, but I'm sure if I walk in a couple of 100 yards in either direction, that I'm going to find what I'm looking for. What is it that you are looking for, and how do you expect to find it? You don't expect to find it living in your low or no self-esteem. You're going to have to raise your self-esteem and raise your voice and step into your frequency, a higher frequency, and to step into your power of who and what you are and who and what you have always been. There's so many that are unwilling to step into their power, and I was one of those. I was not willing, till my friend Phaedra's mother said to me one day, "I see you surrounded by feathers." I said, "Thank you. Yes, I know that." She says, "And there's a headdress on the floor. When are you going to pick it up?" And I knew right there and then I was busted, that an elder, this was her birthday, she was turned 70 years old, an elder had just called me on my power, or my lack of power, or my lack of esteem. When was I going to pick up that torch of who and what I am, who and what I've been working towards, and I wasn't doing it really, not really? Are you doing things really, not really? Aho. I just finished singing Oishi no, Oishi no, Oishi no. Oishi no means, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I always thought that I was ready, and I wasn't ready till I actually stepped in. I had been doing a lot of things. I had been working with medicines. I have elders in Los Angeles. I have a ceremonial lodge. I would go out in the land and I would do all these things, but I didn't know I didn't know if I was doing it properly. And fact of the matter is, if you're doing it and you're teaching others, you're probably doing it correctly, or in a good way of walking in balance and walking in beauty. Aho, aho. Now, what I do is I work with earth medicine, and anybody knows me knows that I make my drums. Aho, right? I make my drums. This one's a deer hide. I make my mallets, and I don't buy things in a store. I use the tools, the gifts that have been given to me. This turquoise was gifted to me. This mallet was gifted to me by the land. This is juniper root. These feathers were gifted to me by people in Palm Springs, and this is eagle that was given to me in Pasadena. Aho. This rattle that I use, you hear it all the time, my snake medicine. This is the pea pod from a tree in Los Angeles, which I don't even know the name. This was given to me by a friend of mine named Stacy Harris, who's a shamanic healer and a medicine woman, and she gave this to me when the name Walking Crow was given to me. Aho. Now, I just said the name Walking Crow was given to me. I didn't give myself that name. That's not what happened. There was a ceremony that was held where I was asked to step through the veil, and my elders were there, and my teachers were there, and people were there who knew me, and people were there who didn't know me. There was people there who hadn't met me yet, but because they heard about this particular celebration on social media, they wanted to come. They wanted to come and celebrate and be with me and honor me the way I was honoring my elders by saying yes to my medicine, by the way I was honoring all my relations, aho, by the way I was honoring the universe, the sky, the sun, the trees, the beautiful grandmother trees, the land, all the creatures of the earth, those that fly, those that crawl, the creepy crawlies, those that swim, the two-legged, the four-legged, aho. I was honoring them by saying yes, and they honor me by giving of themselves. This little pouch that showed up the other day, it's full of tobacco. I carry tobacco in that. And the blend that I create comes from the plants around me where I live, where I go out in the land, where I make drums. All those things go into this blend of tobacco. It's not just tobacco that you buy in the store. There's tobaccos in here that have been gifted to me from medicine women, from a medicine woman in Michigan, another medicine man in Los Angeles, and other places. People have brought tobaccos to me when they come to make drums, or they offer tobacco to me as a gift, as an honoring, and I am honored with it, and I use those tobaccos and I mix them with all the tobaccos and all the medicines that come from other places, and then they move forward, and it just doesn't stop right there where it was given to me. All those become mixed. All those things become a part of my medicine, like the stick that I find on the path, like the pea pod, like the sage, just like the sage, like the juniper root, like the turquoise, like the feathers. All those things become a part of your medicine. All the things that have come upon you, that have happened to you, decisions that you made, good or bad, in your life, or that were made for you, are a part of your medicine. Please, I'm going to ask you, if you're working towards your medicine and walking towards your medicine, I'm going to ask you to say yes. I'm going to ask you to not worry about the things that happen to you. Turn around and take that child that you left behind and bring that child forward and integrate that child with the man or the woman right here, right now. Allow that child to be with you, the inner child, and know that he or she is loved. He or she is loved. You can't assume to love yourself without that aspect of who you are, without the child. You have to love the child within you also. You hear me sing that song all the time. Ayo nana owai, ayo nana owai, ayo nana owai. I will love you, my child. I will love you, my child. I will love you, my child. Loving the inner child. It's so important. And a lot of you don't know how to. And a lot of you feel, I get the impression that you need permission to. The only permission that you need to love you and your child is yours, is your child's. Say yes to you. Say yes to your child. Say yes to the variety of things that happen to you through your lifetime, good, bad, or indifferent, chosen or unchosen, right? Making decisions or not making decisions to do those things. Who cares? It doesn't matter anymore. Stop beating yourself up for making good decisions, poor decisions, indifferent decisions. Stop beating others up for what they did to you, because it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. You are right here, right now, right here, right now, just like I am. So I'm going to sing Ayo Nana Owai, and I'm going to sing us out. I don't know if you can see the water, but I know you can hear it. And I'm going to say thank you to all of you. You know, a lot of people are watching a football game today, but I refuse, because I don't need to get caught up in the distraction. I don't need the distractions of those things. I hope what I need is to connect with the grandmother trees and be like the grandmother trees. I am the tree that didn't get knocked down by the four winds. And what are your four winds? What are my four winds? Right? Abuses and being neglected and being mistreated and being abused and all those things. They're a part of my story, but they're not the story. They're a part of the story, but they're not the medicine. They're not those things that you hold on to in anger and in fear and in fright and all those things. Those are tools you use to become more powerful, to stand up tall and to say, I am and I will and I can and I do. Not to live in fear. Not to live in fear of the don'ts, shouldn'ts, couldn'ts, wouldn'ts, won'ts. All right. So, beautiful out here. Ai o nana o ai. Ai o nana o ai. Ai o nana o ai. Away. Away. Hey, thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, Great Mother. Thank you, my brothers and sisters. Aho. 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 Walking Crow for the Transformational Sacred Medicine, asking you to not leave your child behind. Love you today. Love you always. Aho me taku yasin. We'll talk to you soon.